Near the end of 2007 and yet another rail journey. Is this the last one? No, I don't think so. Self I am and king of that domain, my universe where my rules reign. Who else would choose these things to be? Could see the things the way I see. I am not less, for I was never more. I'm only me, at least of that I'm sure. And if you want the name in Greek, autistic is the name you seek.
Do you know what it used to be said?
Well, what else did you expect? I don't actually know where I'm going. I'm just hoping for the best. Someone told me to go past King's Cross Thames Link. And then it was somewhere down there. It looks to be a little further than I thought. If anyone calls, I'm designing St. Paul's. Still not sure where I am. We are still with the trains, yet another network, a very confusing one. They call themselves First Great Western. Now, they have got first on these little things. There. That's where it says First Great Western. The trouble is, that is what is used on other networks to distinguish the first class carriages. So how on earth can you tell? It's all a puzzle, isn't it? Now there you go. That's the way of things with trains. You never know what to expect. Yes, strangers on this train. Do you feel my alien pain? How do I make my meaning plain? How on earth do I explain?
I like your poetry.
Some train journeys are pleasant, some are not. This is not a pleasant train journey. I'm very unhappy about the whole thing. It's just too long in an unfamiliar train. I'm not familiar with this system at all. It's a different company to what I'm used to. Parts of the route I'm not familiar with. I can't even see where I'm going out there. Where am I going? This is another well, this is another hotel monologue, and like the last time, this is before an AGM, and this is the strange and weird thing, because when I spoke last, which was a year ago, and you know, we never know where the time is going, I spoke about my future on the NAS and how I thought, you know, this was my last year as a trustee of the NAS. It turned out not to be. I still have work to be done, much to be done. And here I am in Cardiff. Last time I was in London. I was filming some interesting things, but the lighting was so poor. And there you go, isn't it? So much is governed as to what you put into the final edit by the lighting. And I had to doctor the footage to give it some accurate sort of lighting effect, and I don't like that, because as far as a sort of a desire for perfectionism goes in me, it doesn't come out right, it doesn't fit in with the rest of the footage, but it's all you've got, and so you have to put that in. And I'm not sure, even as I speak at that moment, as I'm always concerned about the edit, I can never escape both the reality and the unreality of this thing. What I'm going to do with it, and whether I will cut out that footage of my face and put in cutaways and heaven knows what. But there we go. So, what am I talking about now? What is it worth? What is it worth? That's just a phrase I'm using. Kyrie, lost souls, sank, sunk, sing at the sharded shatter slid forth, flashing fragments, torn triangles, and all of that. Straight stones sing, stars in universal light. And I see somebody wants me on the phone at last, do they? Oh, hello. You know, you're disturbing me in the middle of filming, actually. And it's very annoying, I must say. Well, you're going to be captured in this film anyway, whatever you're on about. No, I can't make that appointment. I'm sorry. I happen to be in Cardiff at the moment. You know, I'm a long way from home. Well, I can't make it back. You know, I lead a busy life. I travel a lot. I'm between Birmingham, London, Wales, Scotland. Who knows where I'm going to be next? Sometimes I'm even out east, the mystical east. Well, not so far as Ipswich, maybe. Cambridge is about as far as the mystical east goes. One hotel room is much like another. It's quiet here. Quieter than it is at home even. And it's uncluttered and empty. Clean and presentable. Everything my home isn't. As I say, there's good hotel rooms and bad hotel rooms, good train journeys and bad train journeys. This seems to be one of the better hotel rooms, maybe because it's so far away from main roads. There's so much space. But then I've got to go back to the chaos. The chaos, which is not confusion, because it's familiarity where I know everything is. It's just that I have to clean it up. And I'm not very good at doing that here in a hotel room. You can leave it to others. I don't. These are the hands that do it, stimming raised to an art form, autism before they took the R out of it, the way it ought to be, the way it is for me, anyway, and I'm only claiming it's me, it doesn't have to be anybody else, it's just the way I am and the way I enjoy things, really. You're not supposed to enjoy it, maybe. It's culturally a no-no. And people will draw all sorts of conclusions, but, you know, if I raise it to a performance art form, well, why not? I think I was a street artist before the concept was invented, years ago. I actually went to some sort of a talk. It was about grants for the arts and that sort of thing, about some organisation that puts on a load of weird street events, and I thought, how utterly contrived, how artificial, how unreal, how arty-farty. You know, there is real street art out there. There are people being themselves, good old English eccentricity, it used to be called, you know, and where has that gone?